good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And it is Monday, and we are starting our second week with the Elemental Wisdom Tarot, which is another really gorgeous deck that is lent to me by my dear friend and tarot student, Taylor. If you are interested, you can check out last month, the entire month of April. I was with Taylor doing some cool recording and talking about tarot cards that were based on a video game. These are not based on a video game. I'm fairly certain they are Rider-Waite based tarot. And I'm going to be completely honest with you today. I am not drawing at random. I am going to go ahead and pick ahead of time the Hierophant card because we just did a great big talk about the Hierophant in the Tarot Cafe that was recorded today. And yes, if you're super interested in that, you'll have to get with me about my Discord channel and all the other crazy stuff that I do. And you can join us possibly on that. The Hierophant is the fifth card in the Major Arcana. It is a very masculine energy card. It is a card that represents dogma and learning and education and religion, and again, a lot of masculine energy and things like that. It is very much a card of this world. So one of the little tidbits I did offer in the Tarot Cafe, so here's your little secret for the month, I guess. The Major Arcana, though they are represented by the Roman numerals, I like to talk about them kind of in this case, for my little hint, in the Arabic numbers, and that is the 5 versus the 2. So the 5 is, then if you invert it, it is the 2. The Hierophant is the masculine, the grounded, the knowledge that you are learning, as opposed to the High Priestess, who is the feminine, the instinct, the more spirituality aspect of things. Things that kind of come to us more naturally. We are not taught them per se. We gain these from a higher knowledge. So the 2 and the 5 are inverted of one another, or opposite aspects of one another, however you want to look at it. That's how I like to remember the difference between the Hierophant and the High Priestess. It is also why, on occasion, I have been known to talk about one of the cards when I'm really holding the other one. In this case, not the case. The Hierophant also is sometimes known as the High Priest. In this one, he is the Hierophant. He has a very papal look to him. He has the papal hat on, which also is highly representative of like the crown chakra and connecting, spiritual knowledge and things like that, which you can go way deep into. He also is typically holding a scepter, which this one is as well. Usually it is the cross or the kind of double cross, which again has a lot of meanings in higher knowledge and all of those kinds of things. He is wearing papal robes, so you've got that. He does have the pillars represented behind him by the curtains that are back there, but they are not actual pillars in this case. But I've seen them in a lot of different ways. They are usually red, so there is that energy to it, which is a more masculine energy. So all of these things are well represented in this card. He has, I don't know, I think a pretty benign looking face. I'm a little put off sometimes by some of the Hierophants. They look really scary and like they're going to hit you with a ruler kind of thing. Whereas this guy seems a little more like, I have knowledge and I would like to share that knowledge with you. I have learning and I would like to share that with you. He seems a little more grandfatherly. I like the more grandfatherly Hierophants, even though the flip side of the Hierophant, and I'm not talking about the other aspect with the High Priestess, I'm talking about when this card comes up inverted. He usually represents dogma and structure that is to the detriment of someone. So like this is when we take religion to the level of it's harmful to self and others. It is the crusades. It is these kinds of things where like it is the zealot or you're so wrapped up in a very focused stream of knowledge that you don't really learn anything outside of that. And anything that is outside that structure that you've already learned is clearly bad or wrong or evil, and you don't have the capacity to open up your mind to new things. The Hierophant is a very powerful card when it is drawn in terms of school and education and religion, and can represent someone or being in that realm of knowledge with things. So all of that is wrapped up in the Hierophant. I do like this representation just because it does lean heavily on a more traditional look of the Hierophant without getting crazy of like, hey, let's put him in a toga or something instead. No, he still looks like a very papal energy, which gives us that, it is dogma, it is religion rather than spirituality, it is book religion, it is stuff that man has taught to man. Even if the knowledge came from a higher power, it is still knowledge that is taught man to man rather than, or person to person, we'll say. I don't want to say man to man, gets kind of narrow that way. But either way, I do dig this representation of the Hierophant. I'm going to say again, no to the font. The font is awful. I wouldn't even know how that said Hierophant, really. Because it's got like almost a capital T at the end instead of a lowercase t. I also am one of those people that can't I before E sometimes with the Hierophant. So if it's all squiggly, I'm not going to know how to spell it. So that's how I feel about that one. As always, it is Monday, so it is Tarot Cafe Day, and we did talk a lot about the Hierophant. We picked a whole bunch of different cards from different decks, some that I've already talked about, so if you want to kind of join us sort of with that, you can go back through and look up the Hierophant in the rest of the playlists and maybe compare and contrast, because it's really fun to look at those cards and go, oh, this one has that symbolism, and this one has that, and this one's kind of weird, and I don't know why it's called the High Priest instead of the Hierophant, which are kind of the same thing, but yeah, interesting stuff. So please check those out. Please check out the links below if you're interested in like checking out any other crazy stuff I do. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!